Okay, so I'm going to start by showing you the first grade this is the 10th light unit of the first grade. So this is the very last booklet that we do in language arts for first grade. And then I'm going to show you the second grade first light unit. This is the very first light unit that you'll do in second grade. You'll see that this first light unit of the second grade year is going to be a review of everything they've learned in first grade. Starting with the end of first grade, this is what they call the self-check. It's like the little quiz before they take their final test. You can see we did some basic spelling. We have the phonics skills, root words, prefixes, and suffixes, contractions, opposites. Here's some more phonics, looking at the pronunciations of words, apostrophes, punctuation, adding ed to the ends, learning how to write dates, and then just a little handwriting check. Beginning of second grade, that same little quiz, they call it the self-check. They do a little writing activity here, writing a sentence about the picture, seeing if they've used capital letters, punctuations, that kind of thing. There's those root words and suffixes, just like we did at the end of first grade. Reading a story and checking for punctuation, capital letters. This is kind of like a proofreading thing. I love this. Now, they did punctuation, capitalization, that kind of thing at the end of first grade, but you can see it just looks a little more advanced in the second grade one. Grammar, figuring out which word you need to use within the sentence. This is a full-on review. These are the phrases. Do you understand what ABC order is? What is a vowel set? More suffix stuff here. Opposites, just like you saw over here at the end of first grade. More proofreading down here. Same thing where they're just copying a sentence and we're checking for letter formation, capital letters, periods at the end. This is cool too. This is like a little self-check for themselves, like to go back, check their own work so I'm not having to do everything. They do have a spelling test. Now notice how this is different. At the end of first grade, they were writing their spelling words up here. In the second grade, you can see take your spelling test for section 3. This is me just on a piece of notebook paper. She is numbering it herself and I'm reading out the words for her. No more of these big lines to help them form their letters. Now that you know what the end of first grade looked like with the language arts, I'm going to show you the second light unit of the second grade. It's basically all brand new skills. They're reading the stories on their own. They've even added comprehension there. We've got action words. They're starting to get into verbs and nouns here. Alphabetical order. Knowing the differences between sentences and phrases. Moving on from nouns and then talking about singular versus plural. This is your grammar. Tons and tons of phonics skills added into. Still working with plural nouns, but now you can see we're changing the endings to that IES. So it's building on things that they've learned. Here's the self-check in that second light unit of the second grade. Singular and plural nouns. Statement versus question versus phrases. Different phonics rules here. Here's some review right here. Prefixes, root words, and suffixes. Understanding the consonant blends, the vowel sets, compound words. And then here are their spelling lists for the second light unit of second grade. With math, we are still in the first grade math with Christian Light Education since I backed her up a little bit. But when we move into the second grade in a couple weeks, I will let you know the differences there too.